You've investigated the CCP for years. I mean, tell us more about what you found. This is really, really disturbing stuff.
Well, we first found out, basic information about patients, basically people who had the money to spend either through socialized medicine or cash, that were able to get things like a heart transplant within 2 weeks. Okay. And this is something and scheduled. And this was something that's basically impossible to happen in a civilized society. Someone has to have an accident, a very traumatic accident that will actually guarantee that they'll be dead. And then those organs can be taken from a person. But in communist China, it's a bit of a different situation. And when back in 2006, a whole bunch of whistleblowers came out near simultaneously, and there was one had a patient that actually had gotten a heart in 2 weeks scheduled, and that's what put us on the kind of road to figuring out, what is one of the, I think, greatest, most extreme human rights violations happening today.
Oh my God, that is absolutely extreme and something that we need to be exposing and talking about further. Your book argues that misunderstanding the CCP poses a global threat. What do you think the West still gets the most wrong about the Chinese regime? What don't we understand?
Well, let me explain just to you how this works and how this is a little bit different than your garden variety organ operation, okay? Basically, you have to have a state actor. You have to be able to push propaganda into a system and dehumanize a whole group of people. Then you need to be able to incarcerate that group of people. Now you can blood type, tissue type them, and organ scan them, and they're basically put in a database, okay? And that's why someone on this end that's got 200 grand to pay can get an organ in 2 weeks, because the person on the other end is ready to be killed to order, basically incarcerated, ready to be killed on demand. So that's the system. Now, what do we get wrong about the Chinese Communist Party? Well, the fact that this exists tells us something really, really deep and important about our adversary and who we're dealing with. This is not a normal government.
No, absolutely not. My stomach is turning just listening to all of this. For viewers hearing about these atrocities for the very first time, what evidence should they pay the most attention to? What do you hope that they take away from your book, from all of this information that we've been discussing?
Well, the evidence, the one piece is there's a paper in the American Journal of Transplantation 2022 where they found at least 70 violations in the published Chinese transplant literature, public, right, of violations of the dead donor rule, meaning that they've published evidence that the people in these studies were killed by actually having their organs extracted. Again, that's publicly available. That we need to understand that this evidence, some of it isn't even hidden. The second part really is, let's think about how we actually cooperate with the Chinese transplant system. Why are we training Chinese transplant surgeons? Why are we, having these deep research partnerships with communist China, with institutions that are involved with this? I think this all needs to end.